We just seen a beautiful presentation of Matthew Banks about the topic of customer experience and explain how he builds the customer journeys. You just had a masterclass around this topic of developing buyer journeys and customer journeys. Could you explain us the difference between what's the difference between buyer journey and customer journey?
Yeah, it's a great question because I get the question a lot, and I found out in the masterclass today on the topic that not many people understand the difference. And when I actually asked, there were 20 people in my room, so guys, what's the difference between a customer journey and a buyer journey? Who knows? Nobody knew. Now maybe they were just scared of me, I'm not sure. But I explained to them, look, the buyer journey is simply when you buy something and you go from a trigger, something happens and you think, oh, I really need something and I'm going to do some research and I'm going to buy it. As soon as you become a customer, then the customer journey part begins and you are welcomed as a customer, you engage, and then you maybe even become a loyal customer and promote it to other people. So the buyer journey and the customer journey are linked, and most people, when they speak about customer journey, they mean actually the buyer and the customer journey together, and all of that is, as Matthew Banks from Oracle calls it, the customer experience.
Yeah, one thing I was a little bit doubting about their methodology because of the fact that they are using internal people to draw the customer journey. What is your take on that?
Yeah, I don't agree at all. I don't think that's a good way of doing it. I actually had the question earlier on in a coaching session. Somebody asked me, oh, that's how they do it. I'm not sure if that is the right way. How do you do it? I actually believe that you should do it outside in, meaning talk to customers or ex-customers or future customers, talk to the target audience, talk to them and ask them how they see you, how they buy and how they perceive you. So really, I don't believe in internal sessions with post-its. I do believe in qualitative interviews, and then do the internal session with the post-its.
Once you have the buyer journey, once you map the buyer journey or the customer journey, what is the next? What's the process? Because a lot of customers probably are sitting there today and saying, okay, now we have customer journey, what next?
Yeah, the idea is when you have the journey, you understand the questions of your buyer and the questions of your customer, then you need to actually understand what content fits and how you build a marketing strategy. Now, from the content to a marketing strategy to then actually executing it in campaigns, those steps are the next steps. And that is usually quite difficult for companies because they see so much possible, but you have to pick your choices and focus.
So if I have to ask you, what's the best advice you give to marketeers who are now busy with buyer journey or customer journey, what that will be?
My best advice would be make sure you build the buyer journey from an outside-in perspective. So did you indeed speak to your customers and your prospects before you made the buyer journey? And once you have the buyer journey, create your content map and create proper plans with a focus in it.